Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead. I am the host of the RNG radio show as well as owner of the Nathaniel group. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. On today's show, first and foremost, I have guest Catherine L. Stamps of When, and that's with an exclamation point, She Speaks. She's a motivational speaker. Currently right now, or I should say prior to COVID, she was out pretty much in schools, communities, empowering young ladies to be better than they are, and of course touching the world. But her main focus is helping young Black girls get to where they need to be at in life. So you can check her out for more. Follow When exclamation point She Speaks on Facebook and Instagram. In addition, on today's show, we're going to talk about savings, what you should and should not be doing for savings. We're also going to talk about real estate investing, but for my beginners, because I see that needs to be a topic, and steps that you can actually take. So I'm going to give you some tips, but steps to go along with those tips. In addition, how to write a cover letter, step by step. 9 times out of 10, it really just deals with the direction. So if the employer is asking for a cover letter, make sure you got one ready. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually not required. And then last but not least, we are going to talk about Mr. Rodney Robinson, who received the 2019 National Teacher of the Year Award. So we'll delve into a little bit about him as well. So, but without further ado, a glass of water, because it's going to be a great show. And I'm actually so excited. Before I get started, I want to be serious about something, folks. With Zoom, I was having issues with it as far as getting connected, and there was either skipping or it was lagging or the video and the sound wasn't working. So as a tip for those that are looking to, and you know, I'm always going to give you free tips and tricks along the way. As a tip, if you are looking to have an interview with somebody and you're using Zoom or using some type of other platform, by all means, what I would recommend doing, shut down all your Wi-Fi devices. So there's kids in the house, we got the TV on, the video game on. If you got another laptop, like your workstation, that's being utilized for a lot of Wi-Fi, be sure to turn all those devices off, even including your phone. It makes for a better streaming, stronger bandwidth, and your pictures come out clear just like this. No, my pictures are clear because my girlfriend got me the Logi C270 HD webcam. Bam. I fell out of the chair. Boom. So thank you so much, baby. Oh my God. No, but on with the show. So starting first, we wanted to talk about savings goals. So United Credit Education Services, yes, I know. Oh my gosh, Dan, I can't believe that there are so many free services. How can I just sign up already? Gosh. Well, 267-702-3756. So with UCES, one of the other free features that they do have available is savings goals. So with the savings goal, it's quick and easy to calculate. So if you're looking to save, you know, $100 by the end of August. We're in the late June, so saving $100 by the end of August, they're going to break down a plan for you. You can create multiple goals at once, as you should create multiple goals at once. And start small, folks. Please, if you got a savings goal and it's like, oh, man, they told me I need 20% for a house, for closing costs, and we're looking at a $200,000 house, 20% of that, it's 40 grand. Yeah, we can get that by next year. Well, here's 2 things to that. If you are looking for a goal of getting to a certain number by next year, then go for it. You know, by all means, go for it. But if you know that it's a far stretch, like, wait, Dan said I could save. I'm going to save $1 million by next Friday. No. Now, working on a plan to get $1 million by next Friday, that's the thought process. So the other thing, utilize your savings goal report to track your progress and ability to add additional money throughout your savings period. And optional text feature reminding you to save. Now, I know what you're thinking, folks. I can do that on my own. I don't need that. Or I'm pretty sure there's an app that I could use that helps me save. Yes, there is. But you got to get that app. You already got to purchase that app, or you got to do some research on that app, or you might have to pull out a pen and paper and do your own savings goal. Meanwhile, all this stuff is included with your credit repair program. And like I said, And Gerald McCullough, who I actually had on yesterday for a Lunch and Learn special segment, which I will actually have the video later today for that, was saying, with savings, with investing, everything like that, you need to start somewhere. You need to start taking action on something. So you don't want to get psoriasis analysis. So, and there's things that you can do on your own to get to that next level. But what you need to look back at is like, well, where's my convenience going to be at? Is it just going to be all in one place? And the best thing that Gerald pointed out was, in addition, just start taking action and getting away from psoriasis analysis. And if you don't know what that is, I'll go over in a second. But Gerald talked about that for no more than $3 a day. No more than $3 a day, you are investing in your future. And I'm like, wow, shouldn't you already be doing that as is? Shouldn't you already be getting out there? Shouldn't you already be either trying to find books? But meanwhile, you're going to be investing in your financial future to reach financial freedom. So hit me up, 267-702-3756. I'd love to go over more details with you in regards to that. But yeah, it's a nice optional text feature reminding you to save. Now, like I said, folks, first and foremost, psoriasis analysis. Psoriasis analysis is a pretty much a very bad method. It's actually a gift and a curse. Psoriasis analysis gets you caught up in so much by reading through. So savings goal, let's take that for an example. Psoriasis analysis would be checking out YouTube about savings goals, doing major research projects about psoriasis analysis or about savings goals, telling your friends about savings goals, but not actually taking action on it. So psoriasis analysis is too much reading and not enough taking action. So a lot of people think that, oh, I'm not good enough or I need to read 2 more books. No, folks, honestly, after today, you should be taking action on your steps towards real estate investing. But we will get to that shortly. I first want to go over 5 steps to hit your savings goals. So Lauren Schwan from NerdWallet, and this article was done on December 5th, 2019, talks about 5 tips in regards to your savings goals. And this is for the folks that, typically, of course, want to do it on their own. So the first thing being, number 1, map out your savings goals. What do I want to save up for? And that's true. What do you want to save up for? What is your goal in mind? Is it a TV? Is it a piece of jewelry? Is it just some Jordans? Is it, the closing costs for a house? Is it something for your daughter, something for your son, something for your brother, sister? You need to figure out, hey, what am I saving for again? Because without that written down, without that being in front of you, you're not going to have a goal in mind. And the urgency behind it as well, if you're not putting that at the forefront, hey, it's going to hurt you in the long run. So map out your savings goal first and foremost as far as what you want to save for. Whether you are part of the credit repair program or not, definitely figure out what you want to save for. Number 2, assess your finances. Now, kind of like the early example, if you're looking at $1 million by next week, depending upon what your bank account looks like for $1 million by next week. So take a good look at what you currently have budgeted for, what you currently have on the side. Mind you, there are those credit repair programs that do this for you, and you can actually see. But if you happen to do it on your own and you're already budgeting as is, check out your line items to see specifically like, hey, what can I be doing to track my expenses and see how much I have left over and see how much I can actually save on a monthly basis. So something to think about with that. Number 3, assign a price to your savings goals. So find out not only how much you can save, but how much you need to save. So that kind of goes with the first one, as far as your goal. If you're looking to get a TV, hey, how long are you trying to stretch this TV out for? Are you trying to get one by Christmas? Since we are looking at about 6 months away, my goodness, we are actually at the halfway marker with Christmas. I tell you, folks, ask my girlfriend, mom, and kid what they want so I can start saving now. So assign a price to your savings goal, with that number. So if you want to save up for a TV, hey, look to see how much that TV costs that you want and save up for it. And also, don't forget, Black Friday and all these other benefits. So you might not need to save as much. So that goes into that research as far as saying what I need to save up for. Number 4, pick a time and place. Choose a deadline. We talked about this before. Literally just talked about it. So, like I said, if you're looking to get a TV, you're looking to get that PlayStation 5 that just came out by the end of the year, figure out how much it is. I really don't even know how much PlayStation 5s are, but figure out how much it is and go towards that goal. Number 5, follow up regularly. Not regularly, folks. It's a daily thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with spending 20 to 30 seconds a day to say, hey, I want to get that TV by the end of December. I want to make sure that my kid has this brand new race car, you know, by the end of October, so on and so forth. Because, like I said, writing it down and looking at it on a regular basis. Because if you just write it down and say, all right, I want to save it for a TV, and then push it to the side, you're not doing anything. You're not benefiting at all. But if you actually say, like, hey, I want to save it for a TV, it costs $300. I want to make sure that I have this by the end of November, and I'm reminding myself up until then. Trust me, you might be getting that TV way, way, way before November, and that goes with all goals in life, okay? All goals in life, if you are reminded on a daily basis, you will get there that much faster. It's just inevitable because time goes by fast as it is already for those that, you know, are around my age. If we could think back towards younger years, high school or college or even 8th grade, I still look at it as like a blink of flashlight because I do remember those hot summers in my grandma's house and just sitting there stuck to that plastic trying to think, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to survive? I can't touch myself. I just want to be clean. I just want to be cool. And I know what y'all thinking. You pervert a little mindsets. No, I'm not talking about that. Touch myself. I'm talking about I'm just trying to get myself cool. Just nasty. See that type of show. See that type of show. So those are the 5 tips, though, folks. But the main thing to pull out of that with your savings goal is write it down, make a plan for it, and put a date on it, and remind yourself about it. So honestly, 4 out of the 5 tips. Now, because we kind of like hit and strayed on the real estate investing, I'm going to go straight into that. So I went over to Forbes.com. They had an article January 10th, 2020 by Greg Hurling, and it's talking about 7 real estate investing tips for beginners. So the first one being know the cost of all. That's with anything, folks. If you were looking to plan a trip or plan a vacation, which I recommend utilizing DW Great Escapes or even reach out to Amberson, some of my recent guests. But if you are looking, you know, for any type of deal, whether it be a car, whether it be kind of like saving for a TV, you're going to need to check out the cost first. So something as basic as, hey, how much would it cost to fix up a $100,000 home in my neighborhood? Hey, check to see how much it costs. You know, you could research, you could see how much, you know, it was at the cost of renovations for one house to what it got sold for. And then you could pretty much weigh it out. You know, if a $100,000 home and it costs $40,000 to put in, but you saw that recent prices were showing that a house like that sold for $230,000, making an $80,000 profit. So those are the costs involved. Now, is that in a perfect world? By all means, yes, it's in a perfect world. Are you going to have hiccups along the way? Definitely, but you want to make sure you know what the costs are involved. Certain things as far as the title search. I remember getting into wholesale when I first initially started researching, and you're going to find this along the way. That's why people say take action rather than get stuck on researching. So one thing that I found out was that, hey, you might want to get a title search done. And I was like, wait, what's the title search? Why would I need to get a title? And this was, of course, before I got my realtor's license and all, which, by the way, I do need to get that renewed before August. I got time. All right. So, but yes, know the costs that are involved. See how much it is to actually just do the basic steps, you know, and stop thinking to yourself, well, Dan, I don't have the money, or Dan, I'm actually looking for a higher price than $100,000. That's all well and good, and I would want you to, but really take a step back and see how much it's going to cost along the way and put it at the max. You know, it might not be $40,000 to do a rehab. It might only be $32,000, but upgrade it to that $40,000 so that way you have no issues and no doubt as far as moving forward. And you get some emergency cash on the side. Select the property type. Know what you want, folks. Some people like Toyotas. Some people like Lexuses. My recommendation is for this property type, is choosing the right neighborhoods. Definitely don't choose a D neighborhood. Definitely don't choose an A neighborhood. But for as far as starting out investing, B and C neighborhoods. Now, what are the types of neighborhoods that you're talking about, Dan? Well, a neighborhood are those homes that's $600,000 or more, pretty much high luxury. Now, it doesn't have to be $600,000 or more, but it's definitely high luxury and model homes. It's recently constructed. There's really no bad issues with it. If anything, probably all the houses probably got sold through either the builder or its realtor's contact. So those houses in the A neighborhood, pretty much far and few between. Going to the other extreme, D, where you shouldn't even be going in the first place. Now, I know that there are certain neighborhoods where it's like, but damn, people still live there. Wouldn't I be still making a benefit? You could, but you're not. Please don't expect to make a profit from it. If you're looking to go in there and invest to build up the community, by all means, definitely do that. But if you're going in there trying to think like, oh man, I can make a profit off this, that's not how that works with a D neighborhood. Now, your B and C neighborhoods are those neighborhoods kind of like where I'm in right now, Mayfair neighborhood of Philadelphia. I definitely would consider as far as a B and C range. You have your white collar and your blue collar workers, those that, unfortunately are still getting unemployment, those that, do have that regular day job 9 to 5. So with that being said and all, with that being said and all, focus on those neighborhoods and then look at the type of properties that you're looking for, whether it be residential or commercial. Number 3, check out the area. Drive around the area, folks. Walk around the neighborhood. You need to get a feel for it, because at the end of the day, what you need to make sure of is that, hey, if I were to live here, or if I would need to come back here for whatever reason, whether I'm sending somebody or even myself needs to come here, what am I to expect? So make sure that you do check out the area, and an action step that you can take today is actually walking around the neighborhood of your choice today, since we do have later hours. It is the summertime, and going around, driving around, or preferably I would recommend walking around. So, and if somebody asks you and is trying to be nosy, hey, you're not from around here, are you? No, I'm actually a local investor looking to pick up some properties. That's it. That's it, folks. That's it. All right. Number 4, protect yourself. Now, if you're thinking about investing in one or more properties, you might consider to utilize an LLC to purchase them, and that's only to take the steps and risks. Now, if you're looking for context in regards to those, I do have one contact that I just actually got off the phone with yesterday. The guy's name is Jamal from AOP Consultant. Great individual. He actually showed me how to save $125, and I didn't even get a charge from him. So really appreciate that guy. But if you're looking to get your LLC, if you're not sure where to go, definitely I could help you show the way. Number 5, decide the terms. So after selecting your property type and location, you come up with the terms regarding your investment. Calculate rent, fees. So this actually goes back to the cost, as far as whether you're renovating, the cost in regards to the upkeep, the cost in regards to, how much money that you could be bringing in cash flow wise. So as long as you're making, because a lot of people say like, well, Dan, what if I'm only making $100 a month, but I put all this work into it? Wait. You're telling me a property that you just sit back on, that you did everything that you need to do, you're making $100 off of it? Okay, leave it at that and move on to the next project. So, and you want to get into that habit of like, okay, now that I have this one, hey, somebody might want to pick that up for that additional $100 and make wait, this guy could have did this, and this, and brought in $250. So those things to think about when you're deciding your terms, but try to figure out as far as how much money you need to invest, and the flip point of it, how much money you're going to be looking to get back from it as well. Number 6, buy property with growth in mind. That's why I said stay away from the D neighborhoods, because, and in addition, even the A neighborhoods, the homes are pretty much already priced to where they need to be at and starting out. Now, not saying that you can purchase a home in an A neighborhood and then flip it when it comes time for, let's say the housing development to be completely done. But above all, you want to get in the habit of, hey, I'm buying this property because after a year or two, I'm expecting to make this amount of money off of it, or I'm expecting to have this profit come into play, or I'm expecting to have it sold at this price, so on and so forth. So thinking about property, you always want to think about growth in mind. And then number 7, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, keeping important numbers on hand. So, oh, I thought they were talking about in regards to investing dollar-wise. So phone numbers, keeping important phone numbers on hand. Now, we live in a world of social media. LinkedIn, again, call me. I can be a sponsor, whatever you need me for, just call me. But for LinkedIn, you have so many people that you can connect with. There's so many things. Even when I was, and you know, not so much as a joke, but when I was looking for an excerpt or blurb to talk about my cannabis chef that was actually on the show earlier this week, I was trying to see, I'm like, all right, what can I utilize as a script or what can I utilize as a blurb? And I literally went on LinkedIn and I'm like, there's probably not that many. Over 3,000 articles were talking about cannabis. I didn't even look up medical marijuana or anything like that, but I was obviously able to find my own blurb. But the reason why I'm saying that is that if I'm able to find over 3,000 searches on cannabis, what makes you think that you can't find that much more on finding an inspector, finding an appraisal, finding an investor? I'm definitely on there. An attorney, a CPA, property manager, other real estate agents, money lenders, you know, are all important resources. So when it comes to investing, hey, the first thing you should be doing and looking as well, in addition to these 7 tips, is, hey, what should a brand new real estate investing team look like? Who should be on my team? And the person to be on your team, like the CPA, doesn't have to be somebody that, you know, is meeting with you at the round table at 10 o'clock in the morning and saying like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you all are here today. Hey, where's my CPA at? He's not here? No, your team is just somebody that you know that is reliable, that you can reach out to. I have plenty of lenders that I can call at the drop of a hat to get inquiries on. Sorry about that. I have definitely plenty of contacts that I could call at the drop of a hat. I have folks that I can reach out to via email. I got an insurance guy that I can text right now and ask him, hey, I got an insurance question for you. So those are the people that are on your team. You know, I got another fellow realtor that I can ask for advice on social media. Those are the people on your team that could be reaching out to you and getting back to you. So, and that's number 7. Oops, my apologies. So getting started, definitely taking action. So the first step, honestly, get out there. I would say out of all these 7 real estate investing tips, get out there and look, you know. And for my potential homeowners, brand new homeowners, hey, get out there and look for an investment property, not so much your home that you want to live in, because the benefit that you have is that I know for Pennsylvania, if you were to stay in a home once every year, you know, over the course of 10 years and continuously flipping properties. After 10 years, you flip 10 properties. Now, the benefit that you have is that once you probably get to your 3rd or 4th property, you're probably like, I want to back it down a little bit and actually use this money to buy 3 smaller homes and build those up and then create an LLC on the side. Because like I said, folks, when you're focusing on a goal, you're going to get there that much faster if it's in front of your face, because you're going to find different methods, tips, and ways. I just found out about doing podcasting on Podbean and such, and I know there's others like Stitcher and such, but learning about utilizing an RSS feed for a podcast. So there's always going to be things that's going to make this show more relevant. There's always going to be things that you can improve upon. And for real estate investing, as long as you're taking action, you are going to come across those opportunities that's going to get you there sooner and much quicker in life. All right. Now for the cover letter. So I went to the Muse, and this was done by the Muse editor. So how to write a cover letter, the all-time best tips. I like when they say that, because it's like, well, what if things change tomorrow that you don't need a cover letter? And the other thing too is there's no date on this article, so I'm not sure how fresh these notes are. But I will say this. Let's start with the basics here, jumping right into this article. Write a fresh cover letter for each job. No. There is no reason that you need to be spending time writing a cover letter for each job. Now, if you are cold calling or if you are cold contacting folks in regards to opportunities, for places that you want to work at. I'll give you an example. When I was looking for a teacher job, what I definitely included was a cover letter because I wanted to introduce myself, and for the fact that, hey, I need to show between these two pieces of paper, one for my cover letter and the other for my resume, that I'm a standout individual. I'm a stand-up guy. So they need to see that throughout the cover letter, along with what it's matching with for the resume. So writing a fresh cover letter for each job? No. Writing a fresh cover letter for each job that you're applying to or inquiring about. Now, when you write these cover letters for these jobs, please be mindful that you do need to follow up and make sure that they got it. So today being Thursday, if you were to send out one today, hey, by Monday, you should be following up with that employer saying, oh, yes, my name is Daniel Umstead. I had sent over a cover letter and resume for inquiring about a position within your company and wanted to know if you had a chance to review it. Or where should I go to put an application if you are currently hiring? That's it. So writing a cover letter for each job, make sure that it's for each job that you're applying to. Go ahead and use the template. No. Your resume needs to match your cover letter. Now, I'm not saying that, everything down to the penny in regards to formatting, but all the stuff at the top with your contact information, your name, email address, all that, and then there should be a bar or something that breaks off that separates the information in your resume from the information at the top. That information at the top needs to go at the top of your cover letter, and then the date, and then who's it being addressed to, their name, title, and then underneath it, company address, company, city, state, zip code, and then dear sir or madam, or since that's kind of old school, I would say to whom it may concern, and then write your cover letter. So using all as a template, not so much. Make sure that you are just using that template is what you do. Your cover letter greeting and first paragraph. Include the hiring manager's name. If you are able to. If you don't know the hiring manager's name, by all means put down to whom it may concern. They say never use generic salutations like to whom it may concern. Well, folks, if you're trying to apply for, let's say, AT&T, and they are a big corporate company, and you know for a fact that, you pretty much want to put in a general inquiry for like one of their big satellite offices, but you don't know who to address it to, but all it is, it says HR@PhiladelphiaAT&T.com, then by all means, you can put down to whom it may concern. Now, if you got somebody's name, definitely do not put down to whom it may concern. If you got biggest day, Mark Williams, CEO of ABC Ventures, then by all means, make sure you got down, dear Mr. Mark Williams. All right? Craft a killer opening line. Now, here's where the fun part begins, folks. For your cover letter, honestly, Google sample cover letters. That's it, folks. Google sample cover letters, because the more that you go into, oh, I'm excited to apply for a job with company. No. The best thing that you can do is finding a cover letter that matches up with what you're looking for and copy and pasting that and taking out the things that don't apply to you. All right? What to put in the body of your cover letter, go beyond your resume. This is definitely key because you want to add on certain things that you did that's not showing on your resume. So if you were a supervisor, great. What did you do supervisor-wise? Did you lead a team? And if so, how many? And was it towards a common goal? And if so, nobody's going to check these things, folks. Now, I'm not saying that you got to stretch the truth, saying that, oh, when I was working at McDonald's, our job was to actually help the NASA astronauts make sure that their breathing equipment was correctly. We led a team of 5. It was a successful mission. I don't know if you saw the news, and it's like, no, I definitely know that doesn't apply to you. But something as far as saying like, hey, we were able to increase productivity rate by 10% by me leading a team of 10 during the summer months in which we led to fast and increased productivity. Those types of things need to be said, and those types of things can be put on your resume, but nobody's going to be going back. No employer, no HR recruiter is going to be going back and saying like, hey, can I speak to the operations manager of your establishment? Yes, I wanted to know between June 2018 and July of 2018, did this individual increase productivity by 10%? Nobody's checking for that, but it definitely does sound good. Now, if you got some paperwork like an award or even a reference letter proving that, hey, by all means, even so much more you need to be bragging about yourself. But keep your numbers and basics simple. Not saying that you need a lot, but definitely you need to put it down there so that way you can make yourself stand out. Because at the end of the day, most folks just need to see like, hey, they're putting their neck out on the line, and we're going to see what happens. Because above all, folks, I can't tell you how many times that I fired folks because they lied on their resume or they lied about doing the job. I had one individual who actually was applying for a bilingual role, and when it came to the interview, guess who couldn't speak Spanish? So it definitely does happen. So go beyond your resume as far as what to include. Think now what the company can do for you. Again, folks, just Google the sample cover letter resume template to get it. Highlight the right experiences. We already talked about that. Showcase your skills. Again, you want to put down what's going to be of value to this company, and not necessarily for your education. So student writing cover letters for internships and new grads often make the mistake of over-focusing on their educational backgrounds. Folks, if your educational background is going to trump your current work experience, by all means put it down. Don't take it away or don't shy away from it. When I had gotten my master's back in 2011, please believe when I was applying and looking for a job, that was all that I made sure was the focus on when somebody looked at the resume, because I had just recently gotten it. And in addition, my master's in higher education, I was trying to make sure that the colleges and prospective employers in the education field saw that as well. So yeah, if your education is top tier, but if it's an associate's degree that you got maybe back in the early 2000s, by all means you can leave that at the bottom or not even discuss it at all. Don't apologize for your missing experience. Yeah, that definitely shies away from it because you're already putting yourself down. You know, despite my limited experience as a manager, wait, you're a manager? Not a lot of people have managerial skills. I still myself don't have any managerial skills, but I can definitely tell you every single time I'm going into a ShopRite or some type of store, I do get mistaken for a manager. So I got to look. It's just not on my resume. So, but please don't put down, hey, despite my limited experience. No, due to my experience as a manager, I was able to achieve ... So always boost yourself up, folks. Never, ever tear yourself down, especially in a resume and cover letter. I'll throw in a few numbers. One is on here: make a process of work 30% more efficient. How so? And like I said, nobody's going to be looking at the exact numbers of what the 30% means, 35% means, or 40%. But just don't stretch yourself too far, okay? My girlfriend, she has what is it? My girlfriend, she works as a leasing consultant for an apartment complex, and for her, they need to fill a 95% vacancy rate. So as she's looking for new jobs, by the way, if you know of anybody, feel free to hit me up. Like to get her resume over to you in the Philadelphia area. So, but backing it up a little bit, you know, you want to have your numbers stand out, but not too crazy. So, and if you've already reached the goal, leave it at that. So for her, she was able to fill 95% vacancy rate on her own at the apartment complex that she works at, which is awesome, which is great. She says, well, it's been kind of down. You got to 95%. What your future employer needs to know is that you were able to get to 95%. Now, especially hearing like, hey, because when she actually got it was actually around April, mid-April, early April, late March type thing. So definitely around the time that it's like, hey, COVID-19 is up on the rise or pretty much in the thick of it. This was a great opportunity for her. So if you got numbers that's showcasing your skills and it's high, leave it on there. Consider testimonials? No. When I oversaw our last office move, I had color-coded spreadsheets covering every minute detail of the logistics were legendary. My manager said I was so organized, she trusts me to plan an expedition to Mars. That's way too much. Way too much. Now, after you got the job, after you discussed the job, after you are starting to work at the job, by all means, if you want to joke around and say that, yeah, my actually former boss, especially when you've already been commended on something like, wow, Dan, you're doing a really great job. I'm glad to have you on the team. It's funny you should mention that my last manager told me I did such a great job. Pretty much using the same method. She wanted me to plan a trip to Mars for everybody. I can definitely see that. Keep up the good work. That's it. That's when that comes into play. Definitely not on your cover letter. Be open to other formats. The tried and true 3 to 5 paragraph format probably makes sense. No, stick to the 3 to 5 paragraph. Please don't go out of the blue for it. And then cut the formality. No, you still need to be formal, and because you are applying, and they go, oh my gosh, they just. All right, I'm gonna just run through these real quick. Write in the company's voice. We already talked about doing the Google and sampler cover letters. Go easy on the enthusiasm. Like I said, boost yourself up, but not too much. Don't let your fear of bragging get in the way. Just don't over brag. And then your final words, keep it short and sweet. That's why I said, just do your 3 to 5 paragraphs and stick to that template, folks. There's nothing wrong with sticking to a basic template. Just make sure the information that you have from one cover letter, if you're applying for a brand new job, matches that new cover letter as well. And then, of course, finish strong. So there should be a statement at the end of it to pretty much wrap it up, saying thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you soon. That's pretty much it. But make sure that you are having that stand out. Now, for my King and Queen section, today's king is Mr. Rodney Robinson. The reason why I can't find Mr. Rodney Robinson anymore, search. I am searching in page. Robinson. That's who I'm looking for, is Robinson. Why can't I find Mr. Robinson? Where's he at? Oh, they want to play. I hope y'all know I'm going to be editing this part out. Hope y'all know that. Just hope y'all know that. There we go. Gosh, it took forever. All right, Mr. Rodney Robinson. He's a 19-year veteran of Virginia's Richmond Public Schools, and he won the 2019 National Teacher of the Year Award. You can find Mr. Rodney Robinson on Twitter at RodRobinsonRBA. So, just want to read this blurb about our king here. A voice for students who are chronically unheard and undervalued. Robinson, his students call him Big Rob, teaches up to 60 young men, most of them black and brown, at the Virgie Binford Education Center, a school inside the Richmond Juvenile Justice Center. His ardent advocacy and excellence in education earned him the 2019 National Teacher of the Year Award, the most prestigious honor in the field. The 19-year veteran of Richmond Public Schools collaborated with Pulitzer Prize winner James Foreman Jr. to develop a social studies-based curriculum that gives the 6th to 12th grade students, many who have experienced multiple transitions and traumas, an in-depth understanding of the justice and prison system. His unique approach has inspired other black men to become teachers and empowers the young men under his leadership to understand their experiences, make better choices, and become social advocates in their communities. So, King Rodney Robinson, I salute you. We all salute you from the RNG radio show. Thank you so much for what you're doing as an inspiration and empowerment, mostly to these young folks out here. So, folks, that is my King and Queen section. Definitely want to leave you with some motivation so you get started on your day here, as we are pretty much nearing the time to get your day started. So first and foremost, stay motivated, stay on the grind. I know that a lot of things are going to be matching up with what I had said before, and it's actually just going to sound like it's repeating, but take action. Just take action. You got that goal in mind. You have it written down. Take that additional time today to actually look for your goal. See what your goal looks like. Even if it's something as simple as, man, I wonder what $1 million in cash looks like. Google, what does $1 million in cash look like? What does $1 million in an account look like? What does somebody's net worth looks like? Check out all these things to help you out in the long run, folks, because the quicker and the more faster that you get to taking action and actually seeing it, the quicker that you will get to your goals. It is possible for you to make $1 million. It is possible for you to own 10 properties by the end of this year. It is possible for you to find that dream job, even during all this mess and hoopla. Sometimes that dream job might just be you yourself starting your own business or collaborating with somebody and helping them succeed and starting their own business. So adding on to that motivation, the moment that you find a way to help others see their dreams and see their goals, you are going to surpass so many folks. So definitely enjoy. If you haven't already, check out the Catherine Stamps interview, which will be uploaded shortly, actually, but definitely down in the links below. You can check out the full interview if you happen to be watching me on YouTube. But above all, folks, before I leave you today on this wonderful, wonderful day, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Stay blessed, my fellow millionaires. Have a great one.
Fleslet on the beat.